Hey guys, how are you? Have you ever wanted to learn coding but you have no idea how to start or like have no motivation whatsoever to start? Well, you are in the right place. So, when I first started my PhD, I had no experience at all with coding. But whenever someone told me, "Oh yeah, I learned R or I code in R or I just, produce this graph in R," it just sounds so fancy. And like nowadays you hear of all of this term like data science, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning everywhere. So it just make me feel like, oh my god, I really need to learn. But then back then I was like, but how do I do it? And like there are tons of like online resources, tutorial videos on YouTube, Code Academy, all kind of things, yeah. But I think like most of them assume some level of knowledge that you get started, and then when you go on it, it's just like tons of information. So I just, I figure maybe I should just share with you exactly how I start with just starting, and I would assume zero background, zero experience whatsoever. So don't worry at all if you have zero knowledge, whatever. Like you literally just have your laptop and the internet. So with that, how do you get started? So let's get started today. So from today on, each day I will make a very short video, because I realize if I make it too long or too complicated, you lose motivation. And the motivation, the momentum at the beginning is very, very important. So from today on, I'll make a short video clip on build on each other to show you exactly how you get started learning R. R is a coding language, it's a programming language, and I use it mostly to analyze biological data and visualization, biostatistical analysis, that sort of thing. They're very good with that. But if you want to learn something for like machine learning, modeling, that kind of thing, well, probably you should learn something else like Python, for example. But for those of you who want to learn R and just, really like taken step by step exactly how to get started, well, continue watching and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started then. Well, the first thing, like I said, I will not open anything prior to get started. So let's say you have zero knowledge. The only thing you have with you now is the laptop and the internet. Okay, so how would you get started? Well, first thing, I think this the given, right? You need to download R. Okay, so in order to download R, there's a website that you go to download R. But let's say you don't know even where to go. So what do you do? Well, ask Google. So let's put download R for Mac. All right. Well, because I have Mac, so I think it makes sense to show you how to download it from Mac. So if you type that in, so make sure that you actually go to a website that is cran and .r, something like that. So it looks similar, something like this. And the top of the website will show you the latest version of R. So it's actually very funny, and I think it's very cool that they name all of these like packages and these tools, this software, like very funny name, like this one, R version 4.2.1. Funny looking kid. That's very interesting, don't you think? It just makes the experience a bit more enjoyable. So for Mac, this is where you go. But oh, by the way, make sure if you have the Intel based Mac, then you download this one here. But I have the Apple Silicon kind of build, so you need to download this particular one here called ARM 64-bit. Okay, so very easy for Mac. You just click here for the Intel based Mac, or you click here for the Apple M1 chip. So after you click that, it will download the package with the file format PKG. Yeah, so you download that to your computer wherever you want to store that file. So let's just assume that I downloaded here. Okay. So then once is downloaded, it's very, very, very easy. I'm not gonna wait. Oh wow, it's actually very fast. So let's just wait for it to download. All right. 2 minutes, maybe 2 seconds. Right, awesome. So it's finished. So it's this file here. So in order to install it, you basically just click on that file that you just downloaded and just click continue. To be honest, the good practice is that you should read things, before you accept. But to be honest, it's just so standard that I don't really think you need to worry about this. So just keep on going, continue, yeah, and it will install your store R for you. All right, so that's that. So now assume that you finish install R, okay? And the way to check it, I'll show. I mean, there are many ways to check it, but let's say so. Once you done that, okay, then what you need to do is download something called R Studio. So R Studio is basically a software that allows you to interact with R, but in a normal, easy user interface experience. So you won't see something like, those crazy coding movie like Matrix where you just see text and then like all the kind of code and nothing looks familiar. So R Studio is a software that allow you to interact with R, to use R, to code in R, but a bit more user friendly. Okay, so in order to download R Studio, you would again ask the Google friend, just put in download R Studio for Mac if you have a Mac. All right, so R Studio is an IDE. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even remember what IDE stand for. I think it's like what does this stand for? I mean, if you don't know anything, just ask Google. This is actually a very important skill. Like, you will encounter so many things that you just don't have time and energy and brain power to remember. But you don't really have to remember everything. You just need to know where to find the information. So what does IDE stand for? Okay, it stands for Integrated Development Environment. It's basically a fancy term that is basically give you a graphical, more friendly user interface to interact with certain programming software like R language, like R or Python or whatever. Each of the language will have its own kind of IDE, but for R Studio is very popular. So we're gonna download R Studio. Oops, I just exit that. Download R Studio here. Okay. And you basically just look for the download button, click on that, then go all the way down to, I would suggest that you download the free version, the open source one. So just like downloading R, you download that one and then it will confirm, it will make sure that, perfect, it's actually make sure that you install R already, and if you haven't, then there's a website you can click to install R as well, but we already did that, so let's skip that step. Step 2, download R Studio Desktop. Okay, so you just click on that button, and again it will download the DMG file. So just download that, and then once you have that downloaded, just click on it and next or continue until you get it downloaded and installed. All right, so that's actually all you need really to get started with R. So assuming once you finish that, you should see a symbol like this called R Studio with the R and then the blue circle with the R letter. So you should be able to now click on R Studio and it should automatically recognize the R that you install. And this is actually this is my code. One easy way for you to ensure that you have R installed as well. So it's like once you open it, you should see some text like this. So they say, oh, your R version 4.2.1, funny looking kid, blah, 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 blah. R is a free software, okay? We know that, so that is where you are in the right place. So now you're basically ready to start learning how to code in R. How exciting is that? So let's just test it out. So one of the very common things I see everywhere is hello world, and make sure you can get that going. So if you do that, well, you just produced your first line of code in R. Congratulations. So I think for this video, that is enough for today. That is very good start. Tomorrow I will show you how you can get started with real data set, and we go from there. Okay, well, I hope it's helpful. See you soon. Subscribe.